and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you?
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Someone at the door.
Already?
I mean, we just got back.
I can't imagine who it would be.
You ever had someone at your door?
I suppose someone. Thank you, Oscar. One of us needed to get up.
You want to go get that, Oscar?
Get it.
All right. Oscar's.
Hello?
So,
Oh, God.
so you vacationed without me, eh?
Well, I thought it was.
I'm only part of your most incredible contest ever,
True.
and you abandoned me in Florida. Why?
sorry.
Was I not good enough for you? Is that what it was? Jack Cassidy!
You know, Jack, it's good to see you.
I don't understand.
Is Jack Short-
Why was I not included on the boys' trip? I'm wonderful on a boys' trip. I loved it. I remember there was one time in 1943 I went fly fishing in Montana, and I was the life of the party. Jack Cassidy!
Wasn't it you and Robert Montgomery?
Robert Montgomery was there. And who was the other fellow? Oh, that's right, David Niven.
Was Bill Powell there?
No, Bill Powell was unable to make it. But we all had pencil-thin mustaches. Jack Cassidy!
And you are again once
I'm
more?
Jack Cassidy.
That's right. Can we call you John?
Sure, John Edward Cassidy.
Well, Jack, the boys were afraid.
Hello, Buzz.
Hi, Jack.
My
How you
favorite
doing?
member of the crew.
Oh, thank you.
A man who shows the proper amount of decorum and respect to a man with my stature.
I'm
Jack
rather-
Cassidy.
You are Jack Cassidy.
Rather
Yes,
fond
I
of
am.
you, too.
Thank you there.
The boys were afraid to bring you along because some of the doors didn't have locks and were afraid of fire.
Oh, that's very funny, but it's not funny for me. I would have had a wonderful time. Understand you were surrounded by nubile, young, lovely ladies with
too.
firm buttocks and pert breasts.
You know what's strange for me is that you're as tanned as we are.
That's correct. I tan.
Maybe
I tan
more
on
so.
a regular basis, but not like those modern tanning beds you have. I just have light bulbs with big, bright backs.
Really? How many bulbs do you use?
734.
Must be very hot.
Oh, they're very, very warm, but they give you a perfect tan all over. Jack Cassidy.
Yeah, we missed you down there. There really wasn't.
Hello.
Oh, God.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh,
How
what
you
are you
doing, Jack?
What are you doing standing?
Have you met him?
It's highly disconcerting.
Have you met RJ?
Yes, could you fetch a chair?
I will.
Fetch
I
a
will
chair and have a
job.
seat. You're supposed to sit here. You have permission today. Understand that's not normal all the time anymore. Jack Cassidy!
Jack, this is Raymond James Diaz.
I'm aware of everyone on your show. I know you're Rob, you're Oscar,
Hey now.
you're Buzz,
Yes.
you're RJ, you're Mark. Ha ha! Where's Josh, the young man?
He's
He just
outside.
stepped out.
Well, hello there, burly boy. Yes, sirree. Jack Cassidy, have you mentioned the contest in Florida? No, you were too busy having fun,
Well, we
running
were.
around with all of your drunken antics, and you didn't mention the fact that my T-shirts are selling like wildfire.
So to speak.
Fire! Jack Cassidy!
Yeah, what we need to say is that if you can buy a Jack Cassidy T-shirt,
Yes.
videotape yourself saying hi.
Of course.
My name and I'm here.
No, how about I'm Jack Cassidy?
Well, no. Well, then
Not
you say,
hi, my name, and you're here. Why don't you give direct instructions? I've always told. When I was on What's My Line with Wally Bruner, he said to me, and I'll never forget these sage words of advice that he gave to me, Jack Cassidy. He said, keep it simple, stupid. Jack Cassidy!
So what we want you to do is wear your Jack Cassidy T-shirt and
Yes.
say, I'm Jack Cassidy.
Right.
In an exotic location.
But before you wear your Jack Cassidy T-shirt, and that's the primary reason I'm here,
Right?
you need to buy
You certainly do.
your Jack Cassidy
Why- what's with
T-shirt.
your fingers?
I just love it when I think of dollars pouring into the Mike O'Mara show. They make my cuticles tingle.
What's the best way to buy the Jack Cassidy T-shirt?
Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and put in your name and your credit card number.
Thank you.
More importantly,
Yes.
and buy. Mark has some marvelous statistics about how these Jack Cassidy T-shirts are simply flying off the shelves.
They are.
It's wonderful. This is the last promotion you'll hear from me because soon we're going to start the contest in earnest with all of your lovely videos around the country saying, I'm Jack Cassidy. Wake up, boys. Wake up. Wake up. Everyone's in a goddamn coma this morning.
And what's the prize, Jack?
Jack, the prize is a day with you.
And that's what
They will serve as Rob Spiewak's apprentice morning, noon, and night. You'll get breakfast, lunch, dinner. You'll be able to do 2 radio shows. And most importantly, you'll be able to sit in with the entire Mike O'Mara Show crew for the entire show. What could be more special, Jack Cassidy?
You love that, Jack.
I love sitting in here. Of course, I have to be going as soon as I'm done with this little piece.
Where you
I
headed?
am off to Broadway to audition for another Broadway show, Ghosts of Broadway.
Ghosts of Broadway?
Oh, it's really not an audition. We're just Ghosts of Broadway.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Get down to business. From the entertainment capital of the world.
Suspect your husband's having an affair?
Worried your wife may leave you? Concerned your daughter may have run away with gypsies? Then put your fears to rest with the Butterfield Detective Agency. With my array of disguises, I can blend seamlessly into almost any environment.
Firefighter, holidaymaker, infant, explorer, fitness instructor, American, Christmas man.
And that's not all.
Sailor, croupier, Lord Mayor's croupier, pyramid worker, theatrical ghost, Central American, male air hostess.
And that's still not all.
Gay man, Australian, tea lady, comedian, office worker, carpet salesman.
That's all. So call the Butterfield Detective Agency now. And I promise I will try my absolute hardest to bring your loved ones back to you, dead or alive.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his settee, here's Mike.
We are back live from the Cappy Flavor Studios in the heart of the Zit, otherwise known as Manassas, Virginia. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We're downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times and powered by Encore. That's Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM, WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Monday, March 11, 2013, and we are brought to you today by our spring break partner, the people that made it all happen for us. I want to thank all the people at the Institute for Liberty and Fan Freedom, and we had a great time down there, and they want to make sure you are aware that your right to own and sell your own tickets to events is under attack. And why is that? It's very simple. Because of greed. Because the sports team owners, the venue owners, the people that sell tickets professionally, that do something that we all could probably do in the old days amongst ourselves, but they got their fingers into it. They don't want you to be able to sell your tickets. They want to be able to control that. And Fan Freedom and the Institute for Liberty says, no, you buy them, you own them, they're yours, you should be able to do what you want. If you happen to walk down the street and there's a guy that says, my God, I've just won the lottery and I want to pay $1 million for my tickets, what would I say to that? I would say I hit the lottery too.
Say, I won't be going to a baseball game today.
Here you go.
So anyway, they want you to pay their fees. This is the people that control this. Sports, everybody's aware of the fact sports have become such huge business.
They want all the money.
And at the Institute for Liberty, specifically Fan Freedom, they want to make sure that if you get it, it's yours. You can sell it, protect consumer rights and your property rights. Visit fanfreedom.org and learn more about the Institute for Liberty. And I like that organization. I think they're absolutely right. It's one of those wonderful areas where Andrew Langer's politics and Mike O'Mara's politics kind of
They meet.
They merge.
homogenize.
They overlap. And thanks again to that organization for making last week possible.
Yeah, they did. They were our
Thank you
primary
so much.
sponsor, and we're delighted that we had them. And it was great to have Andrew Langer down there.
Yeah.
He was a perfect
Awesome.
wingman. Wish he could have stayed longer because he gets the joke. He fits in seamlessly with our group, and it's always fun for us when we can bring people down on one of our road trips who actually enjoy our company and we enjoy theirs, and we had a fantastic time. It sounds odd, doesn't it? Does it sound a little odd?
You sound
today?
a little loud.
Yeah, you
It
sound
sounds
you
loud,
pitch off a little bit.
like maybe distorted or something.
Not distorted, just
Then
loud.
do me a favor, just give me a little more headphone level. We just got the equipment out of the trucks and we loaded it up.
Does
in
that sound
here.
better to you?
Yeah, it sounds much better.
Good, good.
So we're back in our home studio in Manassas, and all I have to say about the return to Manassas is.
Yeah.
You know what? I think
Heartbreaking, isn't it?
It's so, what a great word, Buzz. Heartbreaking is exactly the word.
There's amazing.
That's exactly the word I would use
what
to
I
describe
felt.
it.
There's amazing audio tape of you coming into the Zit.
Right.
And it really is. It's maybe one of the longest segments we taped the whole time we were down there. And I listened back to it, and it's really like a shell of a man.
Right.
You have such enthusiasm going in.
Yes.
And then Dumfries kind of is a punch to your stomach.
Yeah.
And by the time you roll into Manassas, you're yelling about everybody and everything.
Sucks the joy out of you.
It does.
I don't want to make the entire show sound like a shill, but the fact is, this is how we make our living. We do the Jack Cassidy contest. We do a lot of different taped presentations episodes. We call it
Right.
bonus content that we make available to you guys, and that's how we feed our families, and that's how we do it. So when I talk about the show and what we did, the live shows you heard down there that we did every morning from our beach house.
The 5 perfect shows, Mike.
I loved them.
They were great.
They were great.
I love
We
it. You
thought-
know, when we butt heads and we're just out there doing something stupid, I love the kind of content that we get.
Yes.
Wouldn't want to do it every week, though.
How's that?
Why
Kinda
not
like-
James Garner?
I like getting back here, talking about the issues of the day just a little bit. I really do. I mean, this is really kind of why I went into this business, is to talk about things around me, and if there's a big story, we can talk about that. But what I was saying is it's a 3-pronged attack when
Assault,
we go down
yeah.
and do a road trip. And not always a 3-pronged attack, but this one was. What we're going to, what was begat out of our little road trip will be not only the shows you heard last week, and I hope you've gotten a chance to catch up and hear all of them. And if you're listening on WTNT or KCJJ, I hope you enjoyed those when we were down in spring break, because we like to think that you can live vicariously through a bunch of old men who are surrounded by co-eds. But the second prong of the attack would be we're going to offer something we're going to call Spring Break Raw.
Yes.
Spring Break Raw was... We can come in every single morning and give you a live version of what we did, and we can recap, and I think we're pretty good at it. But what you're going to get with Spring Break Raw is
Real time.
incidents
That's right.
as they happen.
Real time, exactly.
And I would like to just say, no matter how many of you decide you want to listen to Spring Break Raw, and
Yes.
I hope it's everybody in our family
It's
that
worth it.
decides to get these wonderful pieces of audio tape. I am also going to apologize because I know just how foul-mouthed I have been on this trip,
Mike, I was going
more
to-
than anybody else, and it's not unnatural foul-mouthness.
I was going to say something to you about that.
It came
Yes.
a little too easily.
Mike, the language.
It was horrible.
You said words that started with M,
I know.
F.
C especially.
Oh, 2 of them that start
A
with C.
lot of C.
Yeah, and one of them is so
I
foul.
totally forgot
I
about
know.
that.
At least
I
one.
think
Not
I might
at all.
have. I think, you know what? I
When you
think-
boys are chopping this up to hopefully make
you get final edit.
2 or maybe 3
Yeah.
Raw series that I know I was foul, but there was a lot of time where it was just real, legitimate anger. There's also great joy.
Yes.
There are joyful moments as well.
Few and far between.
Yeah, but
But I just wanna-
when
I-
you're joyful, then comes M and F.
I
and
know.
C.
I know.
So this is the MF and greatest C.
I just want to say, even though I know there's a segment of our audience that clamors for foul,
They do.
horrible language, that I'm sorry. Because I think I went over the top a couple of times,
No.
especially
And there are
when we can't get into hotel rooms or something like that.
Oh,
Did did we record any of that? Hopefully we did.
Oh yeah.
Did
There was
we
a-
record
there
at
was a
midnight?
full recording.
1 a.m.,
Yes,
you
you
mean?
did.
1
See, I don't even
1:30?
remember.
That'll
I'm
be a
so
wonderful
tired.
video representation of our wonderful evening back.
And we certainly record a lot of the raw shit-facedom. Oh my God!
What
I
are you
can't believe I
doing?
just
You're
said it.
still doing
I'm
it.
still doing it.
Mike, we're back
I
home
just did
now.
that.
Professional mom.
I'm sorry.
We're back
I'm
home.
sorry.
He's right. We were S-faced.
We were. So
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
But I really thought about it. I mean, I stand by I certainly stand by our video.
Yeah.
That
Right.
that we're not sure when that's going to be ready, and we'll let you know when it is.
They're home movies, Mike.
They're home movies. Our spring break home movies and our audio tapes are things that it's called bonus content. It's the 3-pronged attack. We have advertising.
Right.
We have merchandising.
pause?
What's that?
Why the pause?
Motivational. We have merchandising.
Merchandising.
And then we have specialty content, which is
Right.
our 3-pronged
Right.
attack, and that's how we do what we do. And so, even though I'm really happy with what came out, I'm really not proud of my own behavior
I think you're going
on microphone because I really used it as therapy.
You're going to come out looking like a champ.
Mm-hmm.
A champion
think
of,
so?
you know what, Mike? A
champion of the
people.
common man.
That's
Until,
right.
until you slipped a moment ago, I was going to ask you if you felt you'd gotten it out of your system, but
No,
apparently that's not the case. Are you concerned? Are you on a self-help thing now to try to bring that under control?
No,
Where
no.
are you on
I
this?
actually got home over the weekend.
Right.
I'm very, as I think I've said, I'm very, very happy with my home life now. I really think everything is great.
Right.
I love seeing my wife as happy as she is.
Excellent.
Glowing. She's glowing.
And
That's
I just
vital.
a little report that I didn't even plan to talk about today. Mucho Kiko last night on my hand on her belly.
Wow.
And feeling, the little guy,
Little Pele O'Mara.
little Pele was kicking, and that was a cool thing. So I'm very happy.
And she's
his
nesting.
first tantrum.
I know she's nesting because when we got home, not only was
Yeah.
the house spotless, it smelled
Right.
like apple pie.
Yes,
Yes.
I mean, it really was. It was hard to
Absolutely.
tear myself
Love
away.
that.
It is. It's great. That part's great. I think I'm still experiencing withdrawal, which I think you guys probably did too.
From Buzz?
Withdrawal from the trip.
Oh.
Just the
I don't
trip
know if
back.
it's. I don't know that if it's withdrawal, Mike.
No.
I think it's just
Recovery.
Yeah, just
Or-
trying to bounce back.
Well, the
Or
next one we
joy.
do. The next one we do, I am going to involve airports
Oh, thank God.
because that's just crazy
No.
stuff.
Now the thing would be
And you
great.
better
Mike,
get ready, my boy, for a long drive. No, we're going to take everything through the airport.
what I think
we're
would
gonna do
be
it that
great
way.
is one plane that's just me, you, and Oscar.
Right.
And then another plane that's RJ Buzz.
That will
and-
follow us.
Yes, and you'll follow us. Yeah.
And Mark, and there's no reason why you can't start planning for next year.
Yeah, that's true. Very
Because
true.
I think we all want. Every time we do one of these, we want to go back, and some we can, and some we don't,
And do it better.
We don't want to. We don't want to. Do too much repeat stuff. But that's something where you never know what's going to happen, so
Right.
we can go there on a
Do
regular
you
basis.
determine in retrospect that 13 and a half hours on the road is too much for a day?
I think it's insane.
Yeah.
it is.
I mean,
I think
even though
it's
we did
insane.
take 10 minutes out at the alligator park.
We will get to the full recap of the joyful return to Manassas, Virginia.
that's it.
Rough trip home. I wrote down Florence, South Carolina. Buzz doesn't listen,
Florence.
and Orlando sucks. Oscar gets food poisoning from certain food stuff that we gave him.
And it's weird,
Have
though.
you recovered from that?
I think I finally felt better this morning.
We'll tell you what that food
Yeah.
stuff is. It's not real food poisoning. It's just food poisoning for the healthy man.
Isn't it weird what can harm someone can make another man feel like $1 million?
Really, you and I.
I know.
Energy surged through our bodies.
We were about to drive over and build some houses with Jimmy Carter. We
We
felt
could have lifted
fantastic.
it. If anybody had a flat tire, we just lift the back of the car up, and just do it that way.
Like Steve Austin.
Also on the program today, Pope Hype. I've never
they
seen
named a
anything
new
like
guy?
it. No, it's just no. You,
I
you
thought
haven't
his
been
name-
paying
They
attention.
start tomorrow.
Thought his name was Pope
I'm
Hype.
talking about the advanced hype for this. That we live in a hype world now. I remember. I go back to John Paul. And then the John Paul that died like in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they got another John
That
Paul.
was like, what,
I remember that
77?
hype.
Basement, John Paul.
There's nothing close to the hype we have now. And it really is.
Well, they've got a new agent.
Strange. What's that?
The Vatican has a new age. I think they're represented by Robinson.
I want to have, I think because they achieved some of the highest ratings they've ever gotten, I'd like to have a really decent discussion of Saturday Night Live, which I watched, and it's star power squandered as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
And, you start with one or two great segments, and then it wallows into I watched that show that got these amazing ratings.
Right.
And I could bring the tape in right now and play you tape of the sketches that they did where you watch a full sketch. They did one particular sketch on Caligula,
Right.
and there is not an appreciable laugh in it for an entire sketch. And I went, this show used to be so much better. And what they have now, it's obvious to me why they get that great rating, because they're throwing all these stars in, but they're
That's it.
squandering.
How
You've
close
got
to the
legends on this show.
How close to the front was the Caligula sketch? Was it?
Probably right in the middle.
You see, I would like
And
to
you
see the
d-
ratings break down by half hour.
Right.
Because they really front load it. And you know what they've done now?
Let's
is-
just start talking about it.
Okay.
I've got a million things to talk about,
All right.
but I want to get a little relevant again. You like that Bill Hader sketch on the Weekend Update?
Yes.
Which is
Stefan.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
it's funny.
Why am I missing this? Then of course, Oscar and I did determine that our senses of humor might be slightly different. All three of us have,
yes.
like, what Oscar really likes is not what I really like, and what I really like is not what Rob really likes.
We actually did something that is
All of us
normally
have.
really it's nauseating to all of us. We got down in the car at one point and we're talking the serious business of comedy.
We did, and we listened to really the primary music that we listened to during the 13-hour drive back
Comedians.
was comedians.
The primary
because
music-
doesn't it keep you awake? You
Oh,
did
it
most
does.
of the driving,
Yeah.
Oscar. Doesn't it keep you
Dying
awake?
laughing driving.
I
It
think
was really great.
the primary music of our trip back was Mike saying, "I don't like the YouTube app."
Yeah, but
I hate the YouTube
It showed
app.
the two sides or
horrible.
three sides of comedy in the actual car, because when we started talking about the comedians we liked, we'd look them up and play their actual stand-up sets.
Yeah, now, Cat Williams, is that the
Yes,
guy?
yeah.
So Oscar hips me to Cat Williams, who I think it'd be safe to say is a very visual guy.
Absolutely.
If you're not looking at him, you're not going to enjoy him.
We should book
And-
him for Cat this year.
Thank you very much. Are you going to start with that now?
No, we don't have a
Can
date
I just
yet.
have one day back before you start
We
with
don't-
Cat?
we don't have a
2000?
date for it yet, Mike.
Looking forward to that. Probably early summer?
Could be.
Yeah, fantastic.
It was just-
looking forward
just
to that.
gotta sign a few contracts.
Yeah. No, I enjoy that.
You play some
I
Sam-
enjoy anything that doesn't put a nickel into the show.
You play some Sam Kinison for me.
Yeah,
Yes.
now the Kinnison was the moment where, so Oscar hips me to this guy, Cat Williams, and I thought he was funny. I thought he was kind of, he had one bit that was really hysterical, and I really enjoyed it. And it's like, other than that, like that. And then, what was the other one? So Cat Williams was your guy.
And Chris, you pulled up Chris Rock.
Chris Rock and
Right,
I,
yeah.
Chris Rock, it would be safe to say you and I
love-
bonded
we
over
loved.
over the genius, as many people
I
will,
love
of Chris
Chris
Rock.
Rock.
And then I said, I want to show you something that I think really holds up. And we play Sam Kinison, which I think I'd said a few weeks ago. I can't believe how his material holds up.
The
And
content.
And I think the
I
reason
agree.
a guy's material holds up is he was so edgy back in his day. He said stuff that was, you could be accepted in a comedy club saying this
Right.
now. When Sam Kinison did that initially, it was over the top.
Shocking,
People were stunned at it. But if you got it on the right comedy chord, like Move to Where the Food Is,
Yeah.
you unhinged your job.
This
And
is
if you-
sand.
And then we find out, we hear nothing from the back. And
No.
I say, Rob, are you listening to this? And I hear, I don't like Sam Kinison.
What?
That's exactly how I said it too.
He also said something
Well, how did
along
you
the
say it? What
lines
did you
of-
say specifically?
No, I said I don't like Sam Kinison that much. And
Okay,
then
yeah,
in
he said
hearing-
I don't like, and I didn't know you were so quiet,
Wow.
and Rob is such a effervescent personality
Yeah.
that you actually to hear silence, and he just was. You really didn't like
That
it.
comedy's too angry.
No, it's not. It wasn't the angry. It was. I said, and you remember, I said the writing is great, the presentation is great, the notions are still funny, but. To me, especially in that early stuff, is he rang so one note. There was so much of the screaming that
Yeah.
I found it abrasive.
He went over the
I
top
think-
because he got famous because of this.
and that I think that was he could have done it without so much screaming. If he had used,
See, and I'm
less-
not a fan of the screaming either. I like the Sam when he uses that high little baby voice.
Yes,
Sure.
yeah.
He'll say, "Hi, how are you? Here, see this? It's sand.
However-
it's sand. Move to where the food is."
I think
right.
if you took a transcript of that early material
Right.
and just wrote it out, it would read
But
as
let's
funny
be
as it
honest.
is.
You can analyze it, but you just don't like Sam Kinison.
I don't.
You don't
Sorry.
like Sam Kinison.
But your brand of humor is on the completely other end of the spectrum.
This is true.
Well, Rob and I mean, the three, we all obviously have the same senses of humor in this room because, I mean, they do intersect. It's just, I was stunned and surprised because you have that dark sense of humor too.
Yes.
And so you like edgy. God,
Yeah.
you like you're the
I do.
death humor to you is the greatest thing in the world. I was frankly blown away that you didn't. And for me, with a comedian I don't like, sometimes it's something completely irrational. Like
Right,
I
right,
have
right.
always, I've finally come around to accept Louis C.K.
Good.
Because for years I associated Louis C.K. with Opie and Anthony and the radio war that Don and I had
Right,
had
right,
with Opie and Anthony. So I could never really warm up to Louis C.K. And then I saw him with a little clip about his daughters on Jay Leno like 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And suddenly I've turned around on the guy.
We listened to an entire Louis C.K. performance on the way back. And in our car, we were listening to comedy too.
He's the goods.
I loved it.
Brilliantly
It was
funny
great.
guy.
And we were all laughing.
Again,
Brilliant
it was.
material.
Again, it comes
great
down,
point of view.
I think it comes down to his writing and his point of view. That's huge.
Yeah.
The point of view of the comedian is what separates
so my
any
question to
comedian
you
from another.
is Sam Kinison and your lack of enjoyment for Sam. Is there anything irrational in there? Because I
don't
would
know.
say
His
my reason for
appearance-
not liking Louis C.K. was a little bit irrational.
I remember his first appearance on Saturday Night Live, which he failed. I do remember seeing that.
you mean Sam Kinison?
Yeah. And,
really?
And I
See, the fact that you remember that means you got it in for him.
and no, not really.
Doesn't it?
So true.
No, I'm not saying that
on Saturday Night.
Not saying that he bombed with
He
me.
didn't kill.
He bombed in that studio.
Okay.
And that whenever that happens, there's an awkwardness that made me listen a little
A
closer.
bad first impression.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my first impression that was bad.
okay.
It was the impression that he was not doing well there. And I think his material does stand up. I don't like his presentation. It's abrasive to me.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Take it back. How much? The second guy we listened to probably the most on the way back was Carlin.
George Carlin, yeah.
And we
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about how his presentation is faultless.
But he got angry there at the
Oh,
end.
Yeah,
very,
but-
very.
Here's some
Angry
other
man
people
at
that
the
ought to
end.
be taken out and chopped had their heads chopped off.
But he's so smooth at it, and it's so appealing. He never stammers. He never has to really raise his voice. He barely uses character voices. It's just a guy talking. And again, his writing is amazing. And that to me, that is what I love. But
do you think it had anything to
do?
Do you think it had anything to do on the second day with the fact that maybe you were a little low energy?
No, I don't think so.
I'm just
It did.
Weren't we all?
I wrote down like I'm coming back. Remember when I showed Oscar? You knew it was about you. When I showed Oscar, I was gonna. I want to paint. I want to paint the picture.
It's
Rob,
such a messed up.
I want to preface what I'm going to say
Situation.
with this show. Is not this show without Rob Spiewak. Everybody contributes, but with all of us, we can be coming in and having a low energy day, and Rob is usually going to bring the noise every single day. And
we really got to go to commercial because I really don't want to hear what's going to follow this because this is a hell of a
setup. Take a break, and I will talk about low energy Rob.
Oh no!
Which I got a couple of times during the road trip back. Rest of the week, not so much really, but those DAT recorders with the handheld mic. The laziest man in America, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break and come right back with the Mike O'Mara
Can't wait,
show.
Mike. Can't wait. What's your favorite song?
Stop it.
Charlie's favorite.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go to the other room. Can I do dishes or something?
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment is brought to you by... It's like we're just carrying over what we did down there. Sorry.
Yeah, isn't it great?
Vistaprint.com. We love our business cards from Vistaprint, and we all have them, and you can get them too. What I love about the Vistaprint thing, obviously, it's the price. You get 250 of these cards for $10. But for someone like me that I'm not a cut and paster... I'm not a message forwarder. I'm not somebody that can come up with my own designs and put stuff together. All you guys are. I'm terrible at it. What I love about Vistaprint is I can go to their website at Vistaprint.com and I can go to their designs.
Thousands.
And not
They're
just
right there.
Not just find the first radio design, find one of like 10 radio designs and something I want to put in there, the new graphics, and I can put them all together on my own at Vistaprint.com, come up with an incredible business card, and then order 250 of them and get them for $10. There is no better business card location than Vistaprint, and they do all other printing needs as well. To get this wonderful offer, 250 cards for $10, and that's with the code TMOS. All you have to do is go to Vistaprint.com and put that code in the search bar. TMOS, Vistaprint.com. Enter our code and get your business cards today. Okay.
Okay.
I was chomping with it. We come back to Manassas. The drive, oh my God. It starts out in Fort Myers, Florida. The first leg, we're 2 days on the road. The first leg was just nightmarish.
It was murder.
It took too
long.
Turned into that. Orlando is the worst town in Florida
to drive through. It's
well,
impossible.
For all of you that have gone to Disney and gone on the Pepe Le Pew's rectum ride, I don't give a rat's butt about it.
I wasn't tall enough.
It was terrible.
To go on the rectum ride.
Now listen, I said going down. I said the worst road in the state of Florida is Interstate 4.
That's right. You hate it.
It is the worst.
I have mentioned that.
When you think of the number of times I've been on that road and the number of times I have been just coagulated on that road, it's ridiculous. It's always crap.
Jam.
RJ Diaz, you are a Floridian. You travel to Florida more than anybody else. You back me up on the 4?
Absolutely. I-4 is dog meat.
It's horrible.
Pathetic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they have lozenges there?
It's terrible.
I could use one.
I know.
You got to go. It's the middle part of the state, and it really connects Tampa and also Daytona, that area, and Orlando. And
It
it's
is a
just
road
horrible.
That road is such a major artery to 3 big destinations. You would think it would be better designed or bigger or something. It was, the traffic we saw was DC-style traffic.
Nightmarish,
and it's my fault, too, because then I start thinking about we'll stop for someplace to have lunch, a late lunch, early dinner. That's going to be our only stop on the first day, and we're just going to get going. And I just get turned around in Orlando, and it just blew me out of the water.
The best possible scenario, I think, from Manassas to Fort Myers Beach, I think it's about 17 hours and change.
You could do it much quicker if you do it correctly.
But our rate, we did, and we had a couple stops. So the first day back,
what you do is you get Carla to drive.
That helps.
Somehow we fly through Florida.
Don't worry, we had Mario Santana.
Oh, we don't spend an hour in Jacksonville.
Johnny Aggression.
Yeah, but we're driving in tandem, and you traditionally go slower when you're driving.
And that first day we did about 10 and a half, 11 hours, so we'd have an easier day the second day.
That's what we
But
thought.
man, that second day.
It was
Wasn't that
terrible.
easy?
Yeah.
And so we got through Orlando in 2.5 hours. It was insane. And
We saw
finally-
a lot of wig stores.
And then we get going late.
We went through Little Korea.
And I said originally we were going to stop in Savannah, Georgia, and that was going to be the halfway point. And I said we got to go further than the halfway point.
Right, yes.
Let's try. And we come up with Florence, South Carolina.
Beautiful.
Florence, South Carolina. Florence, South Carolina. Florence, South Carolina.
That's right.
Florence. Oops. I don't have that.
It wasn't that
put-
good.
I gotta put.
We didn't like it very
That's
much.
the town.
You know Cake Noise number 34, Rob?
Yeah, the cake noise is gone.
There's nothing in there.
Oh, that's
my
sad.
God.
There's nothing
It's probably in
there.
Florence.
Florence,
Key
South
not
Carolina
assigned.
is the town that the rest of the country forgot.
It is
And you know what, Mike?
horrible. They got a lot of motels there.
In Florence, things move at a different rate.
Yeah.
We'll never forget it.
Horrible. Horrible. So let's flash back to, let's say about midnight, 12:15-ish.
It was exactly midnight.
Yeah,
that we told
midnight
her.
on the nose.
Yeah.
We basically decided that we would have to plan our overnight early on. We did it the last minute, and Oscar used the website that I use, that I will not use anymore, Suckwire. And Suckwire was
Suckwire.net or .com?
Suckwire.net.
Okay.
And he got screwed with on the way down. And we get to the hotel where we go to this website that books your hotels cheaper, and they don't let you know until you book it. That's their little.
That's how they get.
That's
how
their
they
little
get the hooks in
sneaky
you.
secret.
They get the hooks in you.
Now, I probably killed any chance we'll ever have for them advertising, but that's fine with me. It doesn't bother me. And we get there, and they all of a sudden the two ladies at the counter become very sneaky.
Yes.
Very
Instantly.
quiet. They're on the phone and they're not telling me anything. And I'm standing up there and I'm
You have a
standing
reservation
up there.
number,
So, yeah, I
you
have a
everything.
reservation
For
number
6
with
rooms.
6 rooms we have.
I want you to be more specific.
6
how it happened.
rooms we have.
It's very good, Yoda.
Yes.
So Oscar and I were parking the SUV.
Yes.
So by the time we got to the lobby, the thing had already hit the fan.
The situation.
What was it like when you first walked in and presented yourself to the chubby ladies?
Who was Oscar? Were you standing next?
I
Mark was
was-
standing
Mark
next.
was.
Yeah.
Mark.
Can I get a little more? Thank you.
She wasn't saying anything.
She wasn't actually. What happened, Mike? You went up there. I stood by you, and you said, "Hi."
As you always do.
Hi, my name is Mike O'Mara, and I've got a reservation. And she just looked up at you and kind of mouthed, "I'll be right with you." She didn't even say it out loud. She just kind of mouthed it, and she was on the phone and covering the mouthpiece with her hands.
Here's what I heard.
Oh, she's being secretive.
At one point, here's what I heard. She said this to her colleague, her colleague who was in the same weight class.
And were they
Yes.
were they fraternal twins?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
But she said this, and I knew we may be in trouble. These are the reservations I told you about. So it's as obvious immediately.
boo indeed.
It's
Boo.
as obvious as the day is long to me immediately that what they do, and I'm sure they do this at crap places, the Days Inn in Florence, don't stay there, it'll be very bad for you, when they said to me that they have sold these rooms to people right off the highway and gotten a much better rate than
Right.
they would get with the Hotwire
But
rate. That's obvious
sold
what they've
them out
done.
from under us,
Sold them out
despite
from under us,
our
but
reservation.
despite the fact that Hotwire, because I'm sure that they probably have been maybe burned by people that do reservations the other way. But you really can't be burned by a Hotwire because the fact is you have to pay and you
get
can't.
paid.
As Oscar found out on the way down, the last thing they're going to do is give you your money back if you make a mistake.
Deal
hate
is
that.
done
But
once
that's the
you
way
hit
it is.
purchase.
But Mike, the thing that you're blowing past here is the fact that we waited for her to give us some kind of information for about 15 minutes.
15
At
minutes,
least.
and
And
there
she-
are calls to the manager. There are sneaky trips into the back
Exactly.
office.
Yeah. Lots of that.
And the other lady is just saying, I don't know.
Well, I asked
I
her
just-
at one point.
and the whole thing was, I just came on the shift.
That's right. I asked her. I said, "Listen, she must be busy with something. Can you help us?" And she, I just got here. I don't know what to do right
You know,
now.
it's 12:15. We got 7 guys that just want to. I don't care.
We've
if
been
you-
driving for how many hours?
13, 15 hours.
15 hours. We've been
Yeah.
on the road. I mean, total, if you count
Right.
even stops, it's a
Right.
total of 15 hours. We're
Right.
ready to get into a bed, and that's what we want to do. I don't care if it's got bed bugs in it. Just let me get into a bed. And they go back and forth, back and forth. Long story short, they sold the rooms.
Out from under us.
They sold them out from under
Ignored
us. That's
our
exactly what it
reservations.
is.
I knew there was trouble when we pulled up and there was a tour bus, which happened to have a bunch of East Carolina University students, like athletes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
that was on the other side.
Yes, that was on the other side, and they were all getting
on the
off.
other side.
And they were all getting off and getting into rooms. And I said, "What are the odds these guys booked 300 rooms
Right.
at one point.
and
you
they
know, just
honored
did it.
that,
And they
yeah.
honored that.
Yeah.
And at this point, we have to contact Hotwire, and I guess because we've used them enough, I've got Mark had a VIP number for Hotwire.
Yeah, it was nice.
And I get in.
When you're
get
a
on.
VIP, you almost always get a room.
Oh, sure.
Almost.
So, look, there's nothing they can do. They call, you see the lady answer the phone at the hotel that sold our rooms. Hello? Sorry. And then the guy from Hotwire gets back on, and you think, oh, Hotwire to the rescue.
Right.
They can't do this with the big power of Hotwire. And the guy gets back on and says, yeah, they sold them.
And that's it.
Oh, thank you. So then I say, well,
What are we gonna do?
These are Hotwire rooms. I have this reservation. You got them, and you got to rebook 6 rooms for 7 guys. You have to do that right now.
Right.
And this is what the guy says. It's like 12:20 at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
He says, well, sir, Hotwire does not do same-day reservations after midnight. I said, what?
I heard
I said, what?
What?
Well, and then I went and I said, we have
a radio show.
40,000 downloads per day on my radio show. We are heard on the radio in Washington D.C. and in Iowa, and we're going to do a half-an-hour commercial for you if you don't take care of this.
Your tone was a little more, and oh boy, are you going to get a commercial on Monday if you don't help us
I was
out.
pissed,
Yeah.
and
Rightly so.
One thing
So-
I enjoyed is every time it was a great circular cycle. You would say, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to help us because you screwed up. And then he would say, okay, let me see what the hotel can do. And then you could almost go 3, 2, 1. And
Yep.
the phone behind the desk would ring, and then they'd pick up, and you hear, pa, 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 pa.
And you go into the dance of no responsibility.
Right.
Where nobody wants to take ownership of this thing. And I'm on the phone, and I just told the guy, just deal with it. I said, I don't care
Fix it.
where you
Fix
book
it,
us,
fix it, yeah.
but I'm not paying any more than what we had paid. That's the main criteria, and we want the same level, and that's where they play the game with you, which is because 2 stars or 3 stars. In certain cities are not 2 stars or 3 stars, but we booked a 2-star motel.
Yeah.
That's a motel. If you
Nothing
book a
fancy.
1-star, the 1 stars have palmetto bugs in your chowder.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean-
you don't want to go to a 1-star.
In a 2-star, there's not even a hallway required.
Right.
There's access around the pool facing the parking
And all
lot.
you
That's a
see
motel.
off of the super slab of I-95 are $29, $30,
Right.
$25, blah, blah, blah.
And they
blah.
shouldn't be stars. They should be asterisks.
Asterisks because they should qualify. But it's a game, and it's a stupid effing game. And the fact is,
That's
you
right.
know, they are asterisks.
We did use typing paper for a pillow.
That's Brian Butterfield. Remember that, guys? That was voice of the trip.
Oh, God.
So they book us in the Super 8.
And it is super.
Yeah.
Aren't you jealous of stardom?
The Super 8. Because it's super.
It is super.
So they say, I said, listen, I give the phone to Mark. I said, Mark, deal with this. He said he's got it done. He's finishing up the reservation. We'll head down, and we're going to head down to the Super 8. So at this point, we get in there, and we drive. Rob is doing the navigating, and we're driving by a huge sign that says Super 8. And I said, there it is. Rob says, no, the nav is saying it's not. And so we
It's just
drive
down the road.
6 miles into Florence, South Carolina. The Super 8 sign was right there where we were said there are not 2 of them, there's 1 of them. It's not like it's New York City. So we go down.
I did want to take a moment, if I may, and
Yes.
apologize.
Okay, thank you. And so we turn around and
The nav was wrong.
We get right back. Yeah, I know. God forbid you use the 2 eyes that God gave you to see the Super 8.
It was the one time the nav.
How
let
big
us-
was it? Seriously, the sign was 750 feet up in the air.
It was huge.
glowing that said
A little too high.
Super 8, Rob.
The nav let us down one time in 8
Right.
days. It was just a very unfortunate time for
It was
Very
but it
unfortunate.
didn't matter because by the time we got to the Super 8 and we walk in, and
Time to hit the hay.
You know it's not a quality place to stay.
No.
What?
When you walk in and you're on the other side of bulletproof glass,
Yeah.
and the lobby where you're supposed to check in is locked, and she won't let you in, and it's freezing cold
freezing.
outside, and then she informs me, she said, well, you're not in my computer.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, well, God forbid. If I'm not in your... I take my email that I've just gotten now from Suckwire.
With a
and I said,
confirmation number.
Suckwire has a confirmation number with 6 hotel rooms right here. I said, do you have them? She said, yes, we do.
Had the room.
I said, well, then why don't we just check in, and I'm sure it'll come through. I can't do that. I have to call my manager. The
How many
midnight
times-
shift employees in Florence, South Carolina are so completely bereft of any brainwave activity
We've
that
seen
they
it.
can't do anything
We've
without
seen it.
the computer telling
Yeah.
them or whatever. And
How many times did we hear normally it pops up on my computer.
Right.
And that was her thing. I said, well, this isn't normal, and we have a confirmation number, and we have it, and it's paid for.
Right.
And you got to let us in.
I thought you handled yourself like just with respect, kindness,
up to a point.
All up until the point until she pointed at her computer for the third time and said, "I can't let you in your room."
Then Oscar had to take over because I said
he was the good cop.
I said, okay, listen. We booked 6 rooms at S-hole, and I used the word.
Yes.
I said at S-hole number 1. Now we're down at this place, which is S-hole number 2. But we have booked these rooms, and because of your S-hole computer system, you don't know that we're here at this. And at this point, Oscar kind of moved over and said, Mike, I need to take over. We'll take a break. We'll finish this up next hour. Thank you. Man, we had some great times down at spring training baseball down in South Florida.
Best.
You can too, but if you do it, I want to recommend something to you. I want to recommend scorebig.com. Go to Scorebig, and they will get you great deals on games. And baseball season's right around the corner. You can get your tickets to see the Washington Capitals lose badly again. You can get tickets to baseball, college basketball right now.
Right.
And or maybe you want to take the family to see Disney on Ice.
I do.
Sesame Street Live or Cirque du Soleil. Whatever you want to see, your first step is scorebig.com. You'll save up to 60% on the best tickets here and across the country. 60%. Every ticket on scorebig.com is below box office price, guaranteed, and never any fees. No matter what you want to see, go to scorebig.com. Enter our code, TMOS. If you're a first-time user, you get an additional $30 off at scorebig.com. So where was I? We were at the hotel in
Oscar had
Florence.
just become the good cop.
That's right.
I really was. Look,
I thought you were going to have a heart attack.
Everybody knows that at the end of a trip, Rob, you've traveled, me, Buzz, you've done, whether it's plane travel, whatever.
You get tired.
When
We're
I'm
tired.
no, it's not a tired thing; it's a testy thing.
Well, that too.
At the end
The
of
fuse is short.
At the end of the day of traveling is over.
Right.
And I just want to get it done.
Just crash.
And, I think I said to you guys in the lobby of that whole hotel, I said, the hospitality business.
It isn't
You almost said,
hospitable.
"Let's drive home."
Yep.
You were
we
very
all
close.
kind of felt that
We were
way.
very close.
It was insane. We are battling with this woman. It went on for another 20 minutes, where it's across the glass,
Well, eventually
finally, I
after-
said something like, we're out here freezing. He said, well, I'll let you sit in the lobby.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh, and is this where you serve that spectacular breakfast with the cheesy waffle crap?
To reframe this, it's 1:30 in the morning in Florence, South Carolina, and
Right.
we are begging a Super 8 for rooms.
Right, which they have.
Yes, which they had.
They have available.
Right.
When you walked away, and I think you stepped out of, we were in that little, and the best
remember
describe
what
it's
you
that
said.
alcove of that gas station you never want to stop at, but you stopped at because you desperately needed gas.
It's airlocked.
Yeah, and it's airlocked. They have that big plexiglass, which is basically dirty, and you can either buy lotto tickets or cigarettes.
Exactly.
But you're trying to get a hotel room out of this box somehow.
Be forewarned. You got to be very, very aware of these fancy websites that tell you that, that you should get your tickets here. Because really, they play a game. Obviously, I didn't know that.
do.
They play a game with these less than reputable hotels that are located off the interstate.
She actually, next time, just call us directly. She said directly.
Yeah, but you won't get the rate if you
but
call
that's
them
the thing. She
directly.
goes, if you call directly and you had the amount of rooms you wanted, you could have negotiated a rate with me.
Really?
That's what
Yeah,
she said.
that's true.
You know what?
Shockingly
And then she
enough.
laughed.
I probably
and laughed
will.
and laughed.
Yes.
Slapped her knee and said, "That's what's going to happen next time when you come back."
when you walked away, I said, "Look, I don't know what you have to do. I'll stay here all night, but you got to let the big man get a room. He's about to melt down."
You said the big white man.
Yeah, the big white man. I said,
Did you say that?
Yeah, you got to let the big white man get a room. Yes.
I feel at this point in
Like, we got to
time-
get him in there now.
I was the one that said, Oscar, let's book these in advance.
Right.
5 hours.
Because we were a little too late on booking our rooms on the way down, and Oscar got
We were at a
CF.
magnificent high. We were at Steak and Shake. We were doing great, and we said, "Let's plan the rest of the day.
Yeah,
it
right.
can't go any better than this."
Your
But
birthday.
And it
there's
didn't.
there's a level of flexibility because we're not sure where we're going to want to stop.
Right.
And even with that, we planned 5 hours in advance, and we got screwed.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm sure we're not the first travelers that have gotten screwed. And for all of you that make arrangements and they sell away your hotel rooms, it really is kind of a CF, and it's hinky, and it's because there's a lot of this stuff that's kind of predicated on not giving consumers information.
Right.
And really, when you're dealing with an organization that is not going to do this, you can get into trouble. But the fault ultimately does not lie with the website.
No.
The fault lies with the Days Inn in Florence, South Carolina, which sold our hotel rooms to other people, and we had reservations.
You
we
can't
had
sell
locked-in
something twice.
reservations.
It's as simple as can be. You can't sell it twice.
So
We've
that is,
tried.
if there's as much as I would like to bitch about the website, as much as I would like to bitch about the Super 8, I really think ultimately the fault lies with the design. And it was as obvious as the day was long.
Right.
What they had done, they knew what they had done.
Sure, and they got caught on it.
And incidentally, what they're doing is probably the result of an unscrupulous owner who says you better fill that place on the weekend, or you're in trouble. And when it didn't come through, even though that money is guaranteed by the website.
I'm pretty sure the owner is Richard Parker.
Richard Parker.
I do remember one thing they offered to us that really I thought your head was going to come off. When they said at the first place, they said, we can get you into another Days Inn 30 miles south of here.
South.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I want to do. I want to I want to go 45 minutes south of where we've come from.
Right.
You incredible cow.
She said, just move down there.
And there was first of all, it was not that they had sold our rooms. It was also that there was not one shred of hospitality in these women.
Regret or
none.
remorse.
They sucked completely. Yes, RJ.
What I was going to say was they're following the model that the airlines have been doing forever. And
Right,
that's
they started it, yeah.
overselling the seats and overselling the rooms.
Exactly.
Because they know they're going to get folks that just won't show up.
Right.
So they get the money from them because you're not going to get a refund.
Yep.
Plus, they're getting the new money from the room.
Yeah,
that
it's
they
the you know what
sold.
it is. It's symptomatic of the travel industry in America and the way it works. And we're not the first people that have gone through that. So we get in. The important thing was that we got our little hotel rooms, and we were going to look forward to a blissful 4.5 hours of sleep, and then be on the road the next day.
Next time we say it's Super 8, and I think it'll be in the next couple weeks, I'm certain.
Right.
Let's pay for the upgrade where we get blankets.
Well, the thing is, it was on the road the next day.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I did not oversleep like I did on the way down, which crushed me. And I because to ensure that, I put my little iPhone all the way across the room, and I realized that alarm, it's not like a regular alarm. There's no limit on the number of times that thing rings. That's going to ring until you get your ass up to turn it off. So
we originally
I was up
wanted
and ready to go.
We originally wanted an 8 o'clock departure the next morning, but because of the incredible cluster we just did, we pushed it to 9.
To 9, and
give
then
us an extra hour.
And we're really all ready to get back home.
Absolutely,
we're ready to get back home, and so the day starts. Now, throughout all of this, we have been going in tandem, 2 giant SUVs. One person's going one way, one person's going the other way. And as we came into Florence, South Carolina, the night before, Rob had noticed that there was a Krispy Kreme shop.
And I really think this is the reason why I screwed up the navigation.
Right.
I think I was concerned and distracted.
More concerned about that. Not so
Hypnotized.
concerned that you remembered it in the morning, though, because Tubby, too, remembered it in the morning.
Good boy, Mike.
The other fat ass
Good
remembered it in
boy.
the morning, and I said to myself, you know what? It'll be really cool. We'll get Krispy Kreme for everybody. What a great way to start the show. And it saves any desire anybody has for stopping
down the road
and doing this. So this is when
donut is good food on the run.
So we're sitting there, and I think Oscar and Rob and I were all at the car.
Both SUVs up front.
Yeah, 10 minutes to 8. 9, rather.
The good SUV is loaded, and Buzz has the other SUV in back.
Right.
And Buzz is there, but nobody else is there yet.
No, Buzz is standing by Cannabis 1.
Yeah, because
and
Cannabis One has has Jimmy and RJ and Mark in it, and who are I like to call the sleepers.
Yeah,
they're the ones that had to wake up with the sleepy eyes. They're not ready to go yet. So, but it's early. It's what 10 of 9.
But the black SUV is loaded, so we hop in Jabril and we're off.
And
but
I say to Buzz,
before
before I leave, said, "Listen, we've got a surprise. We will be right back." That was it. Didn't give any more detail. We've got a surprise. We will be right back.
Yes.
So we go down to the Krispy Kreme. We get the donuts. And we're coming back.
We do
this is going to be goodwill for everybody.
Donut drive-through.
Everybody's going to have fresh donuts.
And Rob orders like he's been there.
Rob perfects the order.
Yes,
absolutely flawless order. The right amount.
I'll tell you exactly how I did it. I said, "Hi, darling."
That's how you start.
I said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, hello, darling. We need 3 dozen donuts, but we need them broken
3
up.
dozen donuts.
2 1-dozen boxes, and then we need 2 half-dozen boxes because they're going to 2 different locations. Also need a large coffee, cream and sugar, and a cocoa." And
we're such queens.
And it was so great. And it was perfect. She said, "That's a big order. You're going to have to pull up. We'll bring it to you." I said, "We'll be waiting for you."
Got it out there and lickety-split.
And I have to once again, in front of all people, say, "Mike, thank you, for that truly was my birthday miracle."
That was fun. We go back to the hotel.
They were still warm.
Go back to the turnaround.
Still warm.
Look over at the driveway. There's no Buzz. Buzz is gone. Buzz has vanished. We don't know where Buzz is. And I'm like, what could I have said more specifically to Buzz?
I even looked at the clock. It was 9:06, only 6 minutes after our scheduled departure. We have not been 6 minutes late. We've been more than 6 minutes late on every departure ever, but on this one, they make it and they're gone.
There are two things at work here. Number one is I can handle because I'm used to it. It's Buzz not listening to what I say. I can handle that. You don't listen. You're not a big listener.
What?
You're not. When we get there, it's happened twice on this trip, and I'm fine with that. But I still am confused by it.
What?
Here's what I couldn't understand: that R.J. Diaz, in 6 minutes, he got down to the car and got loaded up, and you guys were gone. This has to be the fastest your ass has moved for the duration of the trip, because every other departure, we have waited for you to lumber out of your hotel, lumber your 17 satchels into the back.
This is why he.
I'm stunned by this. I'm like, where the f are they?
This is why he schleprock. The one time he's on time, is the one time it works against us.
Of course,
yeah.
But then again, I still have not gotten to the bottom as to why Buzz at this point, because I was told you left to go find us.
Yeah, ultimately we did, because it actually seemed like you were gone longer, and maybe that's because I was busy, barking at people to try to get them into the SUV.
Have you seen the clock app on your iPhone? It gives you the correct time.
After working with you for 20 years, our experience has always been, anytime any of the shows traveled, Wheels Up at 9 meant Wheels Up at 9.
Right,
true,
right. But and that would have been fine. But I had said we've got a surprise. We'll be right back.
And I heard that you were going to work on a surprise. I guess I didn't hear the "we're going to be right back" part. And when what felt like a significant,
when were we going to give you a surprise?
So in other words, when I spoke to you, I said, hey, we're going to go get a surprise.
I was busy loading people into the SUV.
What he heard is
half of it.
It's 10 minutes till 9. We're going to work on a surprise, and the surprise is we're leaving without you. And right now, while I'm distracting you, Rob is letting the air out of your tires.
Was there any paranoia about the fact that we had abandoned you guys?
I wouldn't call it paranoia, because had I been the lead car, I would have left.
No, you're too nice.
No, there's no way you would have
left.
Way. No, there's no way. And as far as leaving, that happens later. Right. So we have taken the time to get everybody chow. So we're set for the road. Yeah. And I guess we make contact with Buzz. He's still in South Carolina, in Florence. And he actually says, I'll meet you at the Shell where we're gassing up already. Right. I'm like, fine. Perfect. We're set. They come back to the Shell station. We give them the donuts. Everybody's happy. It's fantastic.
Not a lot of delay.
Then Buzz somehow got a full tank of gas into his car in like 5 seconds.
Done and done.
And Buzz is right in back of
ready to roll.
Revving his
ready
engine.
To go. Well, that's where Mark and RJ have to go, and the toddlers who can't get their asses moving at all have to go into the convenience store, and they have to get their little snackies, because the snackies we got weren't good enough. They wanted salty snacks or whatever the F they want. So I'm looking in back, and 20 minutes is going by, and I look over, and I see Buzz's SUV is completely empty,
I'm at
and
the
it's
wheel.
9:23. We are working on being a half an hour late with our departure. Unacceptable. I have no idea. And meanwhile, Jimmy, the great helper,
wonderful,
really, the great helper, the giver, he gives to everybody. He's there just assisting. That's what he wants to hear. Can I carry that coffee for you? Can I do this for you?
The weird thing is, I went up to Jimmy. I said, Jimmy, what's the fastest way we can get to D.C. today? Because we want to get home. How do we get to D.C.?
Okay, let's see. Well, obviously, the best way to get to Washington is run for office and be elected.
And I found out later, Mark, you guys were in the store, just getting whatever you had to get your little stuff. Even though we got food for everybody.
And also, was anyone doing?
I want special food.
Wasn't there a bathroom break after we had been away from the hotel from exactly 200 seconds?
RJ, was there a bathroom break for you? Did you have to use the facilities in the 6 seconds between your hotel toilet and the next toilet that you came to?
I said I went in for an adjustment, yes.
I'm not talking about that.
It's complicated.
That's what I did.
To adjust your little thing?
I had to adjust things, yes. My little thing.
Wow.
Whoa.
Any chance you washed your hands between the adjustment and touching the donuts?
RJ's nether regions down there. It's
complicated.
Things. It's very complicated.
Construction.
Might be another show.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
I think I just miscalculated because
that'll happen when you're riding the Stoner Express the whole time.
I did want to get a little snack, and I had no liquid at all. I needed some kind of water or something like that.
For the bomb?
Yeah, here's the thing.
And that's
all
the
right?
same thing. We
yeah,
needed
okay,
Royer,
okay.
Mike.
Taker 1 and Taker 2. Let me explain how the givers work, okay? The givers prepare. When you're at a hotel room and you're getting ready to leave and you know you've got a group of 7 guys that are ready to roll, what the givers do is they plan in advance, okay? They know, they think about the fact that you're going to be delaying everybody else. You process that. But you guys don't. You guys don't because you're sitting in the back of the SUV that Buzz is going to drive all day long, so both of you are going to be able to do whatever the F you want, and there's not even a thought given to that, and that pisses me off.
No, that's wrong.
I thought it was going to take Buzz a little while. Like you said, he filled up with gas in record time, and I thought there was going to be a little bit of time while he was filling up to go get my drink and come back. But he was so quick that I just completely.
It was not that he was so quick; is that you guys just
there was
you just
a line
lingered
as well.
and it was but I mean we were ready to go.
I know,
and there was right where we had come from. You could have gotten all the drinks you wanted, and we had extra drinks. I thought, and maybe those were consumed.
But I do apologize.
It drove me crazy. So I look him back, and at this point,
and you're behind the wheel.
At this point, I'm sitting there going, "This is just look at that." Is there anyone?
No hope.
I think I said to Oscar,
"Is
there anyone even in the car besides Buzz?" And I'm looking at Buzz, and Buzz is twitching a little bit at this point too.
A little bit.
Yeah, poor Buzz. Because it was
Buzz.
legit. But at this point, I'm not mad at Buzz anymore, even though he doesn't listen. I'm frustrated, and I said, "Okay, you know what? Let's think what I'm going to do." And I look at Buzz and I give him the salute. So long, and we are off. We're off.
That's when I started crying
because I'd had it. I had absolutely had it. We try to do a little something nice. It was insane.
After your departure, and you had gotten past the point, you had been at the point where you were waiting, where you were drumming on the steering wheel.
Right.
When the drumming stopped, I knew there was something about to happen. But I will say the one thing I take away from this is after we left them behind, do you know how fast the pickup is on a Suburban? It's fast.
He caught me. Buzz Burbank caught me in record time.
But you did 0 to 80 pretty quick when you got on 95
North. I was done with it. I said, I'm done. Let him catch up. But then I backed it off a little bit, and you had to be. To catch me as quick as you did. Were your tires smoking a little bit?
We found a shortcut. We got across some fields. A few backyards.
There was some bouncing around in the back seat of that truck.
Just to say, and I said today we were going to talk about the road back. The trip back was just ridiculous. It was so. We made great time the next day, but once we finally got rolling and stuff like that, and I just I was lecturing the car on the givers and the takers, and it was just like. It made just astonishing
for a great raw spring break raw edition. You're going to get all that.
Yeah,
real
There's a lot of the F word,
and you're going to get raw. But
not just the F word, but also a lot of times when Mike was talking and gesturing with his index finger. And I'll tell you about him and this and that and salty snacks.
And Oscar and Rob, like everybody on the show, everybody knows me. Everybody knows that when I go, that you basically go, yeah, right, Mike.
Yes,
go ahead, bitch again, Mike. Yeah, right.
We want you to get it out.
Yeah,
there's also an amazing an anomaly that happens with Mike that while he has a short fuse in real life, when he's on the road, there is no fuse.
Boom! There isn't. I hate it.
No.
I don't suffer any bastard out there.
And if you wonder why myself and Rob drove most of the way, and I think maybe, and I can't speak for your lovely wife, maybe why Carla drives most of the way.
I'm not really. She disciplines me where I gotta. She does the driving, and I'm not allowed to really do what I do. So on the trip with you guys, I was able to go
open
freedom.
Well, we don't have that hand in the relationship. That is your wife. We are coworkers and friends.
Right.
So when you're not driving, it is the hardest time for us just to continue making you happy, but also making sure that you don't get behind the wheel. So we have to be just.
But I did okay.
When you were behind the wheel, you were aggressive and abrasive.
You're aggressive too.
No, but
He was not the most aggressive driver in the vehicle, Oscar.
But You yell.
I've never
you
seen
scream.
but
I
I've
yell
never,
and scream.
I've never seen a rubber tire throw sparks.
Well, yeah. I'm an aggressive driver by nature, but I never yell and scream at people that I know can't hear me through a glass and two cars.
It's the way I get it off. It's the way I get it out of my system.
The way he was yelling, I'm not so sure they didn't hear him.
That's very true.
It was insane. And then the whole time we're doing the Spring Break Raw series on audio, and I will take the mic, or Rob will take the mic, or Oscar, or anybody of the guys will take the mic, hold the microphone, and do this. Well, about halfway through the first leg of the trip, Rob, it was obvious to me that became a little taxing for Rob. He would do it, but there were times when I know that I gave you this setup and said, Rob, set this up. Okay, here's the guy talking. All right, we're here at Gatorama.
Lots of things. I'll fix it.
Here we are, right there.
I'll boost it.
The energy had left your body halfway through the first day.
It was a long week. And then no one going to argue that.
But Logie Rob is still trying to please Rob. Like, he wants to make sure that he does his best.
Yes, he does.
Of course.
Once you remind, sometimes I had to remind him, like, come on, Rob, set the bit up a little
whatever
bit.
chemicals had been put into his body,
right.
Whatever was coursing through his veins during the day, would at times, much like a blocked artery, blocked the capacity for him to do what he wanted to do.
Well, what blocked my arteries is what almost killed Oscar, and we have to be quick. But
we don't have time for that.
No.
We will tomorrow. We will talk about Oscar's food poisoning based on Krispy Kreme.
Wow!
I didn't get to anything I was going to get to. Trust me, folks. We're going to try to we're going to return to normalcy on the show at a certain point.
The dust is settling.
We just can't do this. But really, to Florence, South Carolina, the whole town. S.A.D.
That's it.
From the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. We'll come back with Rob's Vault. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of the program brought to you by Warby Parker. We tell you all the time it's a great deal. Glasses start at $95, and you can pick out the ones you want. They will send you 5 pairs. You keep the ones you want, send the rest back with free shipping. Use the code TMOS. Go to warbyparker.com, select your favorites, and get fast, free shipping. We've all ordered our glasses from Warby Parker. You can, too.
Guess who's wearing Warby's today?
Who's got them on?
Jimmy does.
Oh, that's right. Jimmy's wearing his Warby Parker sunglasses.
I gave Jimmy some of Warby Parker's, and he looks fantastic.
He does, like he always does.
Yeah, he does. Well,
and that's the two.
He has a fashion-forward bar.
Details at warbyparker.com. Remember to use our code TMOS. Hello, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Great to be back with you. Let's open up the audio vault for today.
Thank you.
This is Monday, March 11, 2013. Take it away, Rob.
I noticed something in your kitchen, Mike.
What's that?
You did not set your clock.
Spring forward, fall back.
Yeah, bye.
Wow.
Spring forward,
fall back.
Yeah. I know.
Maybe that's why I'm also all disconnected.
Oh, sure.
I'm a mess.
We all are.
Fall back.
I mean, I got like almost 8 hours of sleep last night. I woke up this morning and Carla says, "It's time to get up. The guys are coming early today." I'm like, what?
And do you agree that there are just too many clocks in our lives now?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, microwave, oven,
Absolutely.
there's clocks everywhere.
Car
Yeah,
wash.
so, yeah. But anyway, make sure you, we sprung forward, right?
We did. We
so
tried.
please take care of that.
You lose an hour.
And Mike, how about this? A lot of times in the recent past, we've been talking about Metro Rail.
Right.
And I got a tape from a listener, Stephen Wadsworth. Thank you, Stephen, for thinking of this. He ran some tape in a Metro Rail
give him
car.
the Metro greeting, Stephen Wadsworth?
Yeah, please do.
Sure. I'll make him a stop.
Okay, very good.
Orange line, see Wadsworth. Orange line, doors open on the.
He was kind enough to roll some tape on a Metro trip this weekend, and there's something I didn't know. I haven't been on the Metro in a while. They now have a pre-recorded portion that's actually quite easy to hear.
Distinct.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there's still the announcer. And so for people around the United States of
So
America...
now Metro has a recorded announcement?
And an announcer.
Okay.
So for people around the country that wonder why Mike does that funny voice...
Oh, good. We got real.
Here's what
one?
the Metro really sounds like. This is the subway in
I'm
Washington,
excited
D.C.
about this. All right.
King Street was opening on Yellow Line.
Not altered.
That's exactly how it sounds.
That's how it sounds. You can't make out a damn thing.
It's a lady.
It is a lady.
It's a lady.
And also, you hear they've updated their door chime, which I think is nice.
Oh, no.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I prefer this one.
Yeah. So So now it's
Yeah.
Alright. Network.
Oh, here we go. Back doors closing. Now that's pre-recorded.
oh, those bastards.
That's weak.
That is it makes it less audible.
Yeah.
Which is what they're going for. That's
what their goal is.
To Franconia, Springfield.
That's the doors closing.
Yeah, now they've always had that.
Nothing.
That's the thing. When you get to your stop, when you need that announcer, when you're coming into the station, that's when you get the.
Hey, so you suburban don't know the city? Okay, screwed. Screwed.
So pretty.
Yeah, very pretty.
So pretty and so inefficient.
Well, we thank you, Stephen Wadsworth, for sending that along because that'll prove to people all around America that our travel system sucks here.
It is the worst, and it could have been.
I'm going to miss
it
that.
Could have been the best.
It could have been the best.
It really, we've got.
It's going to be great when they finish in Gotham. I mean, Tyson's Corner.
We have
and they get it going out to Dulles.
We have a beautiful, slow subway system.
Very slow.
It's the slowest, I think, in the country, and it's the prettiest in the country.
Yes.
And it has the worst escalators in the country.
And they break all the time.
They break all the time.
Never once have I seen in my life here a working elevator in a metro. They're always broken.
And the thing is, when you talk about our broken escalators, we're not talking about just going down a flight of stairs here. We're talking about escalators that go 7 miles into the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And when that's broken, you're screwed.
I do think the Roslyn escalator is still in the top 5 longest escalators in the world.
Right.
And it never works.
Breaks all the time.
It does break all the time. You know why, Mike?
Why?
Because we're fat. But anyway, our hats off to Rosalind. Mike, do you still follow the work of Bonnie Floor?
Bonnie who?
Bonnie Floor.
No, I don't. Is she of the Boston floors?
No, she I think is of the Texas floors because she's George W. Bush's painting teacher.
So W.
She's W's painting teacher.
Oh.
And this is what she has to say. Because remember, we talked to W about his nude bathroom portraits.
Right.
But that's not his favorite thing to paint. No?
I didn't know that.
No, he loves to paint, Mike. He loves to paint dogs. There he is, the leader of the free world, folks.
Wait a minute.
Loves to paint
Loves
dogs.
to paint dogs. Here's Bonnie Floor.
He picked it up so quick. It just was.
I hate her. She picked it up so quick.
Do you hate her more or less than Sam Kinison?
No, she's. I like her presentation better than Sam Kinison.
Okay.
Is she elderly?
I didn't see her. I only heard her. She
Okay.
sounds to be like perhaps a contemporary of George W. Bush.
He picked it up so quick. It just was amazing, actually.
All right.
And, his
Just
whole.
want to say he picked it up so quick. Lee.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, he paints dogs.
He picked it up so quick. And his wife was Love.
His wife is Ugg.
Art is in it. He started off painting dogs, and I think he said he's painted 50 dogs.
50?
50 dogs.
I painted 50 woof woofs.
Oh, my God.
But not just any dog, Mike.
This was President of the United States.
That's right. He paints dogs.
Big dogs, little dogs, middle ones,
Cute dogs.
purebreds, mutts.
I'm going to go down and paint Barbara. I'm going down to Laura Bush. If I can't drink my bourbon, I'm going to go down and paint some dogs.
How many?
30, 40.
Pulls out this canvas and starts painting a dog, and I said, "Oh my God, I don't paint dogs." Actually, I called him 43 because that's the way he signed his paintings. When I would really want him to do something, I would.
Of course.
Does he sign him with the number of the president?
President number,
He's
yeah.
sort of like like Sam Huff would sign. Hall of Fame 82.
Like he's an athlete.
Yeah, he is an athlete.
Oh, my God.
This is a Boston Terrier. 43. Duh.
You know why he does it? He can spell 43.
Say, Mr. President, you know that you don't do it that way. 43, he has such a passion for painting. It's amazing. He's going to go down in the history books as a great artist.
Bonnie Floor.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know how we heard about him painting? We read about it on the internets.
I hear there's rumors on the internets.
That guy.
And
43.
also, it just, if you're going to paint, it just makes sense, Mike.
It's commonsensical. In other words, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, I'm down here in the basement. God damn it, Laura, I'm finishing up my golden retriever.
Dogs?
You know what's interesting about all
Just
that?
bring me down a TV plate.
TV plate. Warm me up a plate.
What
Warm
he
me up
would
a
say.
TV plate. I'm finishing my golden retriever.
Hey, Laura, fix me a plate.
You look at a guy like Bill Clinton who's out there. He's actually working, like
Yeah.
really
Right.
hustling.
Jimmy
right?
Carter, one of the greatest examples.
Every day he's hustling.
Yeah, and
Really, one of the great examples of presidents that have done stuff would be Carter, because he started all these different things and he traveled. Clinton's got the global initiative,
Right.
and he's out there. He's working.
he's painting
As soon as-
dogs.
I'm
bushes.
painting my dogs.
50 dogs.
Yeah, yes, sir. He
You
has.
probably should have tired at like dog number 30.
Even his father worked around
Yeah.
the world.
That's right.
Until he couldn't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But
I want to. Here we go. I got a basset hound. It'll knock
But
your
in retrospect,
knock your D in the dirt.
maybe it's better if he doesn't do anything at this point.
That's funny.
I would start him painting walls.
You
I think,
seriously,
instead of dogs.
you have the examples of let's just use Clinton and Bush Sr.
Okay.
Those guys got out of office and they immediately
Kept grinding.
Now they gave Sr. a little crap for the going to Japan and doing the speaking, but
Right.
the fact is, with some of the relief efforts, he worked with other presidents, and he did that. And W is there. Here, I need some watercolors.
Yeah, what is this, a Mastiff?
Thank you.
Real quick, you mentioned Saturday Night Live earlier. I did want to mention, I thought, one of the saddest moments, the return of the Fest-Drunk brothers, the wild and crazy guys.
Oh, that was so sad.
And it really kind of hurt.
Yeah, we didn't even get into Saturday Night Live. I was
Dan
there with that
Aykroyd.
star power, and they did the Five Timers Club on
Which,
Saturday
by
Night
the way,
Live.
is an old bit, and it's been done better.
Yeah, and it was just the one thing about Aykroyd is
His size?
His size, and also the fact that he just doesn't look like himself.
He doesn't.
Right.
You know.
Here is something that really used to destroy me, the wild and crazy guys. They're on like a dating game.
Okay, third bachelors, what's your best attribute?
Okay. Do you know, Judy, what a package is? Ours is so big you will enjoy to see them.
Don't worry, Hoss. You can't miss
Our bulges!
Yeah.
Don't bring it back. It was funny when it was original.
Yeah, you're ruining
And you know
it.
what? He doesn't even do the voice right. Is it to me? Is the voice?
No,
isn't
it wasn't
right.
right. The delivery was weak.
It's the rhythm of Saturday Night Live. It's just Saturday Night Live is just
I'll tell you what.
dreck.
It's not Drek when they do Herb Welch.
Yeah,
We did listen to that in the car.
We listen. No, they have their moments. They have laughs included in Saturday Night Live. But overall, it's just come on, give me a break. And that guy Stefan that you like so bad, do you think it's worth half of the update?
Maybe not half.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
But it's cute when he laughs.
Okay,
America loves it.
You're a queen.
I am. Let us close as we speak of old queens.
They all liked it. Buzz and Josh both liked it. Buzz and Josh. So I might be wrong. I might be on an island myself.
Well,
Wait,
we're having a
too
makeout party
long.
after the show. We'd love to have.
What is that? So that he's smelling his hands?
No,
or something?
he's trying to. It's a sort of a gay man's way of an effeminate man's way of hiding his laughter. He's
Oh, okay.
He's
All
trying
right.
to cover his mouth.
All right.
Interesting.
Mike, I know you're excited about the Vatican Papal Enclave.
Jesus.
And wanted to close with Bill Maher's take on that. I just like saying enclave.
On conclave.
Is it conclave or
It's conclave.
Oh, enclave is a Buick.
That's right. It's conclave.
Conclave is capital.
That's right. The enclave is a nice SUV.
Okay, here we go. Bill Maher, ladies and gentlemen.
Today, the Vatican, are you following what's going on there? I'm sure you are. They announced the papal conclave will begin on Tuesday. I thought it already had. But apparently the first week is just cocktails and speed dating, and now they're going to get to the real business, and still no word on who the new pope might be, but they did get a little nudge from America today because a poll came out this week and said a large majority of American Catholics want someone younger. And all the cardinals said, girlfriend, who doesn't?
That, Mike, that is your Magic Audio Vault. Thank
We're
you
gonna take a break, come back with Buzz and News, and we'll have all our thoughts on this whole papal mania tomorrow on the show. Buzz and News is next, right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We're delighted to have you with us. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man. You know, I realized something.
What?
What's that?
I've been having a real tough time with my replays. You noticed that today?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
What's wrong?
It's because I'm so stupid. I didn't even rearrange them, which I could have done before the show.
The reverse?
Yeah, it's 6.5 instead of 5.6.
Oh,
I've been doing this all day, like not even thinking about it.
asked
I
the
got in
man.
there, sat the shot, and go, Yeah. Why'd you not over there?
We can have those put back in the right way by Thursday.
That'll take a while.
Friday
Hang
at the
in there,
latest.
Mike.
Buzz, take it away.
Thank you, Mike. We're brought to you today by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page for your home and workplace. The banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon takes you directly to your account, and now you can link your Amazon page to your Citi Cards Rewards account to save even more. I did this yesterday, found out I have $355 credit.
Yay!
Do this.
Cool.
It'll pay off for you. Save money and support the show. Shop through MikeO'MaraShow.com. Well, the Super Bowl isn't the only thing we should maybe move to Saturday. Maybe if we did that with the shifts in and out of daylight savings time, we wouldn't all be dragging so much today.
I could barely paint my dog pictures.
So there really is a physical effect to it.
Oh, yes. In a survey, 2/3 of us say that we are affected generally for at least a week. In my case, I think it takes me much longer to adjust to a time shift.
Wow.
I lived through when we actually lived in Phoenix, Arizona. They don't observe daylight savings time.
Right.
So when Chad and I worked there, we didn't go through it, and it was the most amazing, blissful thing ever.
Really?
You didn't have to deal with any nonsense.
That's great.
But you know what? We say this now, but isn't it great in the fall when you get the extra hour?
Then you get a little surge of energy, but I think it just
I think
all that does is disrupt my sleep patterns.
Again, yeah, we have
alone.
Exactly. We keep having to change.
Yeah.
Now, next to making daylight time last year round, the next best move might be shifting it to a Friday night, Saturday morning change. A new survey shows many of us need at least a week to adjust to these time changes. The first Monday after a time shift is the hardest because we have to be at work on time. And the survey shows 70% of us favor shifting the clock change from Sunday morning to Saturday morning. That would give us 2 weekend days to adjust. But a lot of us still favor doing away with clock changes altogether.
Amen.
Because not sticking.
Settle down, RJ.
Not sticking to one clock year-round.
What do you care?
Costs us billions. Cost us billions in lost productivity, heart attacks, and car wrecks. Estimated cost of car wrecks, heart attacks, and lost productivity just from the spring forward change, $434 billion.
Yeah, and I really want to apologize for my heart attack. I don't want to be part of the problem, Mike. I want to be part of the solution.
You had that in the car when we'd hand you the microphone.
That's right.
Now, sometimes
when I found out we were out of donuts.
Sometimes a dark cloud has a silver lining.
Rob and I took care of those on the way home.
Yeah, cleanup was a snap.
That's for sure.
So as it turns out, all this uncertainty and fighting over the federal budget is not hurting job growth after all. In fact, job growth surged last month. Car makers, builders, and retailers were all hiring, and that pushed the unemployment rate to the lowest it's been in 4 years. Nearly 250,000 new jobs were added last month, and the unemployment rate fell to 7.7%. Even the higher payroll taxes did not stunt job growth. The value...
Job growth is also up.
It's that time, James, I'm telling you.
Well, all I know is if you listen to the Spring Break Raw series, Rob Growth will be discussed on that.
Yes.
Because right before we got home, Rob Growth was openly discussed. Did you have a good birthday weekend?
It was wonderful.
Did you get what you wanted?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Excellent.
nice.
You'll have to listen to Raw for that.
Twice.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
The value of the dollar is up, and the stock market is at a relative all-time high.
Poor woman.
Now, we've always thought that.
She's crying now.
Now, we'll know.
Still.
We'll know this week if the President's Charm Initiative is working after taking Republican lawmakers to lunch and dinner last week. Mr. Obama's trekking up to Capitol Hill this week to meet with the caucuses of both parties to forge some plans to maybe get some things done.
I like it.
He took them to the Caribbean Pearl.
Hey, I saw a videotape. Were they all in white tie and tails or something?
I didn't see white tie and tails. I said they were dressed
Maybe
up,
that was
but I
like
didn't
from
see...
the correspondence dinner. It was
That's
just
what
a
that
B-roll
was.
of Obama.
Right.
But I like this. This is what he should do all the time. He should do this. He should be backslapping all the time. If it helps, do it,
If
Mr.
it
President.
helps, do it, yeah. Early indications are it is helping for the president to reach out to opposition lawmakers. Prominent members of both parties were on the Sunday morning chat shows yesterday to say they're moving closer to a deal to avoid a government shutdown that looms later this month. Gun violence still a big issue. 11 people wounded on a busy downtown street corner in D.C. last night. Shots coming from 2 moving cars.
11 people?
11 people wounded in downtown D.C. last night. No one was killed, and actually only one of the woundings was serious. Anti-gun violence crusader and New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg is optimistic about better gun laws, even if there won't be a ban on military-style assault weapons.
I feel very good about it.
I think you're going to ban the weapons.
He says better background checks is more important anyway, since it's handguns that kill a majority of our citizens every year, and that is by a wide margin. And a new survey shows that despite the recent surge in gun sales, Gun ownership in this country is down 15% from the 1970s, dropping from 50 to 32%. The gun sales increased recently by people who already had guns and went out and bought more.
You'd never know that unless you had that
That's
story.
true.
I like that. That's
true.
something you would never know.
1,000 people showed up to generate tens of thousands of dollars for wounded Alexandria police officer Peter LeBoy yesterday. People can be good.
It's good stuff.
Thank you.
1,000 showed up for that?
1,000.
1,000.
Yes.
Oh,
And
that's
tens
good.
of thousands of dollars raised.
That's good, and really miraculous progress for Officer LeBoy.
more great news
We'll
this
keep you
weekend.
posted on that.
Finally, he passed the sobriety test, so police weren't sure what caused a truck driver to set off a 5-car accident in San Antonio Friday afternoon. But the man has an explanation that nobody can disprove. He says he blacked out after he got brain freeze from his 7-Eleven Slurpee.
There you go.
He wishes insurance company good luck with that one. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thank you, Buzz. Our show today was brought to you by our partner for spring break, the Institute for Liberty, and their partner, Fan Freedom. Your right to independently buy and sell tickets is under attack. You bought it, you own it. Protect your consumer rights and your property rights. Visit fanfreedom.org and learn more about the Institute for Liberty. Andrew Langer, thank you so much for joining us down
Andrew
there.
Langer.
Thank you for your support. RJ, thank you for all your help with the upload and the
RJ
download.
Diaz.
And thank you, Mark Ronick, and everybody on the trip. You guys, it was another great one. To all my colleagues, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana, Buzz Burbank, our intern Josh, this is Mike O'Mara saying we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Wait for me.